Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. It is April 11th, 2023. My name is Kyle and this is Maker Notes. And today we're going to talk about all things short rows. So the project that we have is a beautiful wrap. It is called Ramson, and this is it. This is part of it. It just keeps going and going. It's really amazing. It is by Linnea Ornstein, and it is a garter stitch wrap. So you can see, if I zoom in here a little bit, you can see these little short rows back and forth. All of it's done in garter stitch using two different yarns. And each of these little floral areas, so you can see there's like two leaves that are sort of by themselves, and then two flower buds by themselves, and then there's a section where there are four, so two leaves and two flowers together. Each of those in this pattern, which is genius, are their own little sort of mini story. So it's little tiny planting or pot, and you choose what order, whatever you want to do for your sequence of flowers. So you can create your own garden, decide what garden order you want your flowers in. And so you follow through the set of instructions to make the two leaves. And then when you're done with that, you can choose what next section you want to do and go like that for your project. For this sample, which was knit by Kim, hello Kim! Kim followed the same sequence that was done in the original that the designer did. So we know that with these two yarns in this kit, you'll be able to make a wrap that's the same size as the designer's. So this uses two different yarns. The solid one is Fine Height. It is from Zitron, and this first colorway that I'll show you is called Cushy. This is Fine Height by Zitron, which is 100% superfine merino. There's 394 yards in this, and this is sort of a grayish lilac-y color. And it's paired with Starka 6. This is color 2528. And that is the color combination that we used for our sample. Now, there are some parts in here where it gets sort of yellow and brown, and while it's beautiful in the ball, when you're making flowers, maybe you don't want your flower to be yellow and brown. If that's the case, which it was when Kim was doing it, she just cut that yarn when it started to get to that color, and then wound the yellow and brown off the ball and kept it just in case. And then when the yarn was changing to another color, she just rejoined and kept going. And that way, the yellow and brown dying flowers didn't end up in the wrap. And at the very end, there was still plenty of yarn left over out of this ball. So just in case you keep it, but if you don't need it, then you don't have to use it. So that is the secret, but this is the Cushy colorway. So I told you content for this. Starka 6 is 75% wool and 25% nylon. There's 437 yards in this beautiful ball. You can see sort of a peek at the different colors because of the way that Scheppel winds these Zauber balls, these magic balls. So that is Cushy, the Cushy colorway. Also in the kit, of course, you're gonna get the pattern. This is the Ramson shawl pattern. And if you give us your Ravelry name, we're gonna put that pattern into your library. If you don't have Ravelry or you don't use it to store your patterns, then we will just use whatever email address you provide when you check out. Also in the kit, there is a Skacel Rocket 32-inch fixed circular in a size US 6. This is equivalent to a 4mm. These are made by Addi, and of course, they are incredible. So you're gonna get the two yarns, you get the needle, you're gonna get the pattern. Digitally, we'll print a copy as well after we've purchased it from Ravelry for you. And all of that will come in the package when we ship it along. You'll also need, of course, skills, right? Your knitting skills. So you need to know how to cast on and knit. And I don't think you have to even purl because it's a garter stitch. You do have to be able to do some short rows, so wrapping and turning. And some simple finishing, reading the instructions and making the decision of how you want your garden to be laid out. You will need a couple removable stitch markers as well, and some time. Time isn't included in the kit, but all the rest of the stuff, the yarn, the needle, and the instructions are. So I showed you the Cushy colorway. Let's show you a few others. There are a total of 4 different kits that we made, 4 different color options. This one is called Jolly. This is, what color number is this? 1619, it's a really beautiful blue, so it'd be a deep, really deep blue sky, beautiful turquoisey color. Paired with here is 2334, which has all kinds of really fun colors. So this would look like sort of, you know, the flowers against a really gorgeous day, gorgeous sky. The third one we have is maybe it's nighttime. So you end up with color 1607, which is black, paired with this really gorgeous lavender and greens. There's that really beautiful light green color and that rosy color. So this will feel a little bit like a deep dark sky with some light shining on the flowers in the garden, right? That'll be awesome. And then the last option we have is Cheery. Cheery has this really pretty green. It's a yellowy green, 1617, I think. And this is color 2516. So reds and some greens, and there's some golds in there and stuff as well. So this is the Cheery colorway. So 4 different color options for these kits. Choose your favorite. If it happens to be sold out, choose your next favorite. They all are going to be really gorgeous. I can't wait to see what all these look like as you post pictures and share them with us. So that is the Ramson shawl by Linnea Ornstein, which we think is amazing. Much thanks to Linnea for encouraging us to make a sample and promote this as a project. Next up, we're going to talk about the color wheel. So we got the color wheel back. This is a really wonderful tool for choosing colors. The little center part here spins. And so there's an arrow, and you point the arrow to one of the colors, and the direct opposite color on the color wheel is, of course, the complementary color. And there is a little booklet, leaflet, fold-outy thing that gets really big that explains a lot about what, how to use the wheel. There are also little cutouts, these little windows. So as you're working with, you know, you're maybe trying to decide what yarn is what colorway, you can take that yarn and stick it through that up to that window, say, okay, well, that's kind of in this family here. So if I wanted to do a pop of color, the one directly opposite of that one on the color wheel is going to be a really great option for a little tiny pop of color. So the opposite of this sort of bluey color is this kind of orangish tone there. So if you're interested in a color wheel, this is a smaller sized one, which I think is great for portability. Get one of these while we have them in stock. The Shape of Knitting, that's next. The Shape of Knitting is this really beautiful hardcover book. This is by Lynn Barr. It was it's like a masterclass in increasing and decreasing, and lots of really awesome instructions. So it starts with a smaller sort of more simple projects that have some interesting shaping and things. And then they get into more involved. Let's get more involved. Here's a fun little shawl that has some open spaces, some negative space, and it gives you information about how to get this started and how to join the little pieces as you go. Lots of instruction in this book. There is, I will show you, starting here is techniques. This is techniques. It's a lot. So if you're interested in learning some stuff or you're not quite sure how, this book will explain it step by step in some really great pictures. So if you're interested in adding this to your library, learning a bit, The Shape of Knitting is a wonderful one to consider. So check that one out. 2 other things in the newsletter. The Knitbox unboxing. So that video should be live now. It was premiering. So if you're interested in seeing what was in the April knit box, you'll be able to watch that video and see what was in there. There were a few of those kits available. So if they are still available, you can grab one. I encourage you, highly encourage you to sign up for our knit box. It's a monthly subscription, and you get a box with the yarn and pattern instructions and a little treat and a little gift each month from us. And next month's is really spectacular. April's was really awesome as well. And we do our best to make them interesting and change skill and style and all of that so that you get a varied assortment of wonder each month long. The last thing in the newsletter would be the double feature knit along. That is starting on May the 1st. You still have time to grab the kit. Make sure you choose which 2 colors of Madrona you're interested in using for the double feature socks. And all month long on the Ravelry forum, Ellen Thomas of the Chili Dog will be joining us to offer support, all kinds of really fun videos and things, so you'll be able to make these really neat little anklet socks. You can make a couple pairs using the 2 cakes of Madrona. So that is it on this long-winded Tuesday for me. Hope you're having a wonderful start of the week already. I will see you again on Friday with more fun things to talk about. Thanks for watching.